Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Hello Girl DIY. Today I'm going to be doing 4 Dollar Tree DIYs, which I hope you all love. And if you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button because it really helps me out here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for the first DIY, I'm going to be using one of these 4x6 stretched canvases from Dollar Tree. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is remove all of the packaging. Then I'll be taking this really cool flexible stencil from Dollar Tree, and once I get it out of the packaging, I'm going to go ahead and center it the best I can onto my canvas, and then I'll tape it down just so it's more secure when I'm painting it. And to paint in the stencil, I'm going to be using some of these sponge dabbers from Dollar Tree. They're probably my favorite thing to use for stenciling. And then for taping down my stencil, I'm just using some of this like Scotch painter's tape. So to fill in my stencil, I'm using some of this agave Waverly chalk paint, and to do this, I just stirred up some of the popsicle stick because I had separated some in my jar, and then I'll pour a little bit out, and then using my sponge dabber, I will dab it into the paint, and then dab it onto my stencil. And there really wasn't a way that I did this. I kind of just started at the top and then worked my way to a bottom corner. This was really easy and a lot of fun. So once I was done painting in my stencil, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the tape. And then using some more of that chalk paint in my sponge dabber again, I'm going to paint in the top and the bottom of my stencil. So those two open or unfinished, unpainted spots. And I just lightly held my stencil in place to try and keep it from moving too much. And then I just went ahead and painted in both of them. Once I was done painting in those spots, it was time to go ahead and peel up my stencil. And this is always the fun part because you get to see like what you did or how it was. And I realized a little bit of the paint had gone onto the edge of my canvas, and I kind of liked how it looked. So I went ahead and added a little bit more in just to make it look more intentional. For my second DIY, today I'm going to be using one of these Valentine's signs. These are from Dollar Tree, and you can go ahead and use pretty much any sign that you like at Dollar Tree. I kind of like the shape of this one, so that's why I grabbed this one for my stash. And after I removed the hanger, the holes were a little bit raised, so I went ahead to use my sanding block and kind of rub that down. And then I will be using some of this ultra matte white spray paint to give it several coats, just to make sure it has a nice even layer. So once my sign was all spray painted and had a chance to dry, I'm using some of these wall decals or stickers from Dollar Tree, and I've had these for a while and I really like them. So I'm going to be using a couple of the cameras, and then I'll also be using some of those little ones. And you can put these on any way that you liked. I just sort of pulled them off and then laid them on and moved them around until I was happy with how they looked. And once I was done putting these stickers on, I felt like it needed something, so I'm using one of Dollar Tree's gold metallic pens. And this kind of just started, and then I basically did it all over the entire board. But this is kind of like a doodle board or a drawing board it ended up turning into, but it was actually a lot of fun to do. I mean, my hearts are not that good, but it was still fun to draw like the hearts and the dots and the dashes and all that stuff. And I kind of just go crazy over it because it doesn't really matter like how it looked. It was just fun because you got to be kind of like creative with where you wanted things and what you wanted. And it was basically, yeah, just a doodle board, but it was a lot of fun. Just go drawing all over the entire thing. And then once I was done drawing, this is how it looks. So it's actually so much fun to do, and I like how it looks. It's kind of like that crazy, just, you know, drawing wherever you want, whatever you want. But once I was done, it was time to go ahead and add back in the hanger. And I'm just doing this using some of Dollar Tree's jute twine or cord. And this is how it looks when it's all done. This is probably one of my favorite wall art pieces I've made just because I love how it kind of gives you a chance to be creative. Next up, I'll be using one of Dollar Tree's coasters, and I gave it multiple coats of a Waverly White chalk paint, which you can get from Walmart. And then using some of these Dollar Tree's rub-on transfers, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the top, and then I'll be using that eucalyptus wreath in the middle, so I went ahead and cut that out. Then once I was done cutting out that wreath, I'm going to go ahead and peel off the backing, and then I just kind of centered it as best I could in the middle, and then using one of Dollar Tree's rub-on tools, or one of their smoother tools, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go ahead and use that and my fingernail to just try to make sure that it has good contact, and then I will peel it up and off. And then once I was done with the rub-on transfer part of this coaster, I'm going to go ahead and give it a coat of Dollar Tree Mod Podge using one of my Dollar Tree sponge brushes. And I just did one coat. You can do as many as you like. I feel like one coat would give it a good enough seal for whatever I was going to be using it for. And this is how it looks when it's all done. I absolutely love it sitting at my desk, and I think it's super cute for only $2. For my third and final DIY, I'm going to be using one of these Dollar Tree letter boards. I was kind of surprised when I found these. I was also super excited because these are actually a really cool wall art or display piece. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out what I want my foam board or letter board to say. And I went ahead, and the way I cut these letters off was I pushed or pulled these letters either down or up, just so I could get the point of my scissors in there. And then I would go ahead and cut them off, and then once I had all of the letters that I wanted, I'm going to go ahead and put them into my foam board. Now I wanted to go ahead and personalize this frame some because I'm planning on putting it on my gallery wall that I'm in the works of making, but I did really like the silver frame. And so I started out with this tape. I actually switched it out for a blue one. But all you do is you make a piece that's a bit longer than the actual frame itself. You put it on so that it covers all the silver on the inside, fold it on the outside, and then tuck in the corners. And this is how it looks when it's all done and all of it. It doesn't even look like washi tape, which I think is so cool. It actually looks like a painted frame. And this is how it looks when it's all done. I love how it turned out, and I also love how easy it was to customize this piece. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you all loved these $4 DIYs. If you have a favorite, please tell me down in the comments below. And please, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to click that subscribe button because it really helps me out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!